Tankers, Seattle Forge here, and I thought we'd take a look at my new Strv S1, the S tank. It's a premium tier 8 Swedish tank destroyer with that new siege mode mechanic. I'm only on the tier 7, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get past the tier 7 to the tier 8, which has siege mode, and I wanted to try it out. So, reached in my back pocket and got one. This tank is using a very new mechanic, and it seems to me like there's still some room for improvement. I haven't played many games. This is actually the first game I played, and I thought it could show off not only what the tank can do, but also the awkwardness of learning the new mechanic. Maybe that's just an old guy thing. So I park up here on this ridge, hoping to be able to peek and poke at a few people in the middle. I noticed that the whole team was kind of going ham on the right-hand side, the eastern side of the map. Kind of pop into the Hellcat when he popped up there. The gun has pretty decent DPM. It has pretty decent damage. It's accurate, sort of. However, the handling is really jerky, even in siege mode, which is supposed to smooth all that stuff out. So here I am, kind of getting into siege mode before I crest the ridge, so that I can then find my gun depression where my gun's at. I'm waiting for some tanks to kind of fall into my line of view. You don't really want to go around chasing tanks. This is not a brawler by any stretch of the imagination. It is a defensive machine only. Nice one into the jumbo. But you can also see, like, it requires a great deal of finesse to keep this gun from jumping around. Use your repair kit. Use your repair kit. You don't have one anymore. You can see the gun jumping around. The accuracy is quite good. But I did find myself micro-moving my mouse, trying to keep things smooth. Then the arm jumbo almost uses me as a ramp. But luckily he either saw me or I just got lucky that he didn't run over me and squash me. That would have been awkward. IS-6 comes into view. Stalin's magic armor, no good against the Swedish gun. Backing off from the ridge, the siege mode actually is nice. It's pretty good at backing you off smoothly. When you get into travel mode, this thing really hauls ass backwards. It isn't so fast frontward. It's not slow. It feels slow. It's not slow. But it does have fantastic reverse speed. So what else can I say about this thing? It has APCR as standard ammunition. It is one of the few higher tier TDs that I would mount binoculars and a camo net on. When you are in siege mode, those two items will remain activated, as though your tank is a turret, as opposed to having a turret. Alright. Now, I was going to head north and I realized we had a massive tanks up there, and that we had perhaps one or two tanks coming up to the rear here, and we didn't have really big tanks to help take care of that. So this being a defensive machine, I roll into place over here. M6 moving in on the cat, and remove him from the game quite nicely. So yeah, it is a nice gun, but jerky. The handling is a bit awkward. So this armor is paper thin, and I think you know, I'm really thinking about my ammo loadouts with a lot of the new tanks that have come out recently. Nice shot at the back side of the IS-6. Thanks for obliging me coming up front. And we got a couple tanks here who are pushing on this ridge, and I yanked the shot on the KV-5. See what I mean about it being jerky? I mean, I moved the gun around a bit too quickly, and it bounces around. The other thing, certainly this is the first game with the siege mode mechanic for me, so I actually really found myself constantly sort of, which mode am I in? Am I in the right mode? Should I be in travel mode here and getting in? Should I be sitting here holding my ground? But it is 13 to 4. Pardon me. And so I should really be moving in to help my teammates, or at least get a little bit more damage, even if they didn't want my help. Here, the magical ass armor of the KV-5 reared its ugly head, and that was my last shot of the game, which didn't produce any damage. So first impressions, this is a very situational tank, but a good one. It's very much a defensive machine. You're not going to be rolling in outside of siege mode and blasting tanks and turning corners, and of course it doesn't have a turret. That's going to make things difficult. But I liked it. I think the mechanic is interesting. I think it's probably going to need to be worked on a little bit over time. But, first game, I get a result with 2,300 damage, and I did get a bit of assistance damage. I did put away at least one tank, got some good shots in, took a bounce from a tier 8 heavy tank, although not the best gun in the world. Came up with a third class badge, fire for effect. First game, I was really pleased with it. I'm going to keep playing it. If I compare my result to the rest of my team, I did come in third on damage. I was outdone by a Comet, which, good for him. I was keeping up with other tanks in my tier. A Patriot, you would think, could outdamage me and so on. But I think that result was just fine. 2,300 damage, all right. And aside from training, one of the biggest reasons we get these premium tanks is for credits. And take a look at this thing. I didn't fire a single shot of premium ammunition. The APCR is standard, actually works pretty well, and 85,000 credits profit. I like it. I like it very much. Did most of my damage from over 300 meters away. A little hurts on the experience a little bit, but I think as a money earner, this thing's pretty good. But the other thing I would say is if you are looking for just a tier 8 TD because you like that gameplay, this wouldn't be my first choice. I would still go with the Scorpion. Scorpion is a turret. Scorpion feels a little faster. I actually, in my first game of the Scorpion, I made 100,000 credits. So it felt like a better earner. You're training up more crew members. This, one last thing I want to mention about this TD doesn't have the same crew loadout as my tier 7 Swedish TD. One of them has a radio operator, one has a loader. The tier 7 has a loader. This has a radio operator. So I actually had to, get a new crew member for a premium tank, and that stinks. So that's my last impression on this. I hope you got some value out of it. Go get them.